Welcome to the Coast to Coast podcast, brought to you by Play Picks and the Lines, coming to you from the West Coast. Josh Lander, joined by my guy Nate Weitzer on the East Coast. Got our player props video ready for you guys, our favorite video we love to bring you each and every weekday. Got a 7-game slate tonight in the NBA to choose from. Nate does have his great article up on playpicks.com as well, with some best bets and player props in there for you. And make sure to like and subscribe to that page, as we got 3 other game videos up for you today, including that bonus video we have with the Hawks and the Warriors in that one. And head to thelines.com. Make sure you're checking out the NBA player props tool that we have up there for you, getting the best odds available back on all those odds available for NBA player props tonight. And head to play.thelines.com as well. That's where we're giving you the chance to win a $25 Amazon gift card. If you head to that NBA Daily Pick'em Challenge, get all of those picks correct, we will send you that $25 gift card there. And as always, if you do still need a FanDuel or DraftKings account, head to fdpicks.com or dkpicks.com and find those listings in your area, such as what we've got for tonight's play props. Nate, let's get into it.
Yeah, first pick is Jordan Poole, and probably Trae Young too, if you like him as well. But Poole, surprisingly to say, is actually more secure in terms of his usage rate, and his props are much lower at this point. I mean, in 4 games since Curry was injured, Poole has a 30% usage rate. He's averaging 28.3 points. Stepped up his playmaking lately, with Draymond Green missing one of the 2 games down in Florida. He has 15 dimes in those games. He's taken 13 threes in 3 of 4 games without Steph out there, and shooting 43% from 3 on the road since the start of February. Now up to 11 straight games with 20-plus points. 7 of those games with Steph Curry in the lineup. So he's secure to probably score over 23.5 against a Hawks team that's pretty bad on defense anywhere, whether it's home or road. Much better on offense at home. So we trust more in terms of a shootouts evolving. And Trae Young, his defensive rating has just been really bad at home, as he's spending a lot of effort on offense. It's interesting, his defensive rating individually 7 points worse per 100 possessions when John Collins is out. He is still out. And the Hawks allowing the 4th most assists to point guards on the season. I really like Poole at plus 102 to get 5 assists, as well as, near even money for him to get 24 points or more. Don't necessarily think the Warriors are going to win this game, but I think he will do what he can to keep hoisting at a high rate with Steph out.
Yeah, I'm with it. I kind of like, to be honest with you, if you're on a site where you can grab sort of a same game parlay, I don't mind taking Poole's points and assists. I might consider taking an alternate assist line there, get it just down to 3.5 and a little bit worse odds, but you go ahead and parlay that with the 24 points, which I feel really, really good about as well. I think you're in the money at that point, rather than just take the points and assists as a combination or one of both of them. I think you can definitely parlay it. Like I said, maybe consider the alternate line for the assist there, get it down to 3.5 and parlay it. But either way, someone's got to take 12 threes a game with Steph not in there. And so Jordan Poole is really just there like, look, we're not going to make you come. We're not going to change anything. You're just going to be Steph now. But they still have been bringing him off the bench, which is also super interesting. Yet they've been getting a lot of slow starts. I think he's going to get the minutes either way. It doesn't matter if he's starting or not at this point. He's just too crucial to what they do, and they play him like Steph once he's in there. So love the points and it's follow you on the assists as well, as Draymond's been struggling to get those as well. Moving on to another young PG and guard here, we've got Cade Cunningham. My vote, not necessarily my vote for Rookie of the Year. I hate the fact that he missed the first month of the season or so, getting his legs back under him. But either way, he's been on a tear as of late. His points at 20.5 tonight, so he needs to get 21 there. That's minus 104 on FanDuel. Or you could take the assists as well. You get 26.5 points and assists combined. That's minus 115. I kind of like either, honestly. Obviously, you get better juice for the points, but he has been diming it up as well. And in March especially, he's got 22 points a game, 7 boards as well, and then 7 assists. He's playing 37 minutes a game. We know the Pistons aren't going anywhere. It's not about them winning. It's about them getting these guys some run. So a 29% usage rate in that time. He's also playing even better at home, honestly, in that same time span of March, 22.5 points a game and 7.5 assists there. The Wiz are coming in on a back-to-back. They're actually underdogs against the Pistons. They've allowed on back-to-back scenarios the 3rd highest assist to turnover ratio when they're playing at home. They have the 5th most points per game to point guards that they're giving up over their last 7 specifically. Really good opportunity for Cade there. And I mean, they're just bad at this point, especially in March. They're pretty much the worst team in the league, 0-7 with 120 defensive rating, giving up about 117 points a game on the road in March as well. 0-7 there, like I said, on the road. So they're struggling all over the place, especially on the road. Haven't won there in March. So I don't know why you would feel bad about Cade being able to get over 20 when he's been doing that, for the last 3 weeks or so.
Yeah, I mean, this is below his averages in terms of the points and assists, averaging 30 points and assists at home this month. I would definitely hit that immediately. The Wizards, probably the worst defensive team this month, as you mentioned, and they're on a back-to-back. And who knows who they might rest, but Kyle Kuzma is out. And it's not necessarily a blowout warning because he's a rookie and he's playing 38 minutes per game. Cade is, no matter the situation. Yeah. So definitely one of the best player props you can find right now. In that Jazz Hornets game, if we're expecting an under, if we're expecting it to be a little choppier, you like Rudy Gobert to get his rebounds. And I know it's really high at 14.5 or the 30.5 points and rebounds, but he has crushed Charlotte because they're exactly the type of team that plays at a fast pace, typically misses a ton of shots if you can guard them on the perimeter. And so in his last 8 against the Hornets, which have all been wins for the Jazz, by the way, 17 points, 16 rebounds, 3.5 blocks with a 96.5 individual defensive rating. Another reason to just reinforce that we like the under in that game. But Gobert, specifically in the last meeting, 23 points, 21 rebounds, 16 free throw attempts. Charlotte, it's not a fluke because Charlotte allows the second most points per game and rebounds per game to centers this season. The points have been under control lately, but still the most rebounds per game in their last 7. They shoot actually a worse percentage from 3 at home than on the road and giving up the second most rebounds per game in general. And Utah is the second best rebounding team in terms of rate, and that's even true on the road this season, whereas Charlotte is the second worst team regardless of venue. So I just trust Rudy to pile up boards. He's had 3 bad games in a row in terms of stats because the Nets played him off the floor. The Celtics don't miss, and that game was over early. Not really sure what happened in that Knicks game to get him below his double-digit rebounds, but otherwise he's been, around this 14 mark for 5 straight games against teams that put up a lot of shots and miss a lot of shots like the Clippers and Bulls and Spurs. So I think that's the scenario we're looking at here.
Well, just to let you know, the reason he had under double-digit boards in that Knicks game is because of a young man named Jericho Sims, number 45 on the Knicks. Keep an eye out for him. He is good, continuing that lineage of New York centers. But either way, Rudy against the Hornets, why is he so good against them? I mean, because their starting centers for the last 2 years have been Bismack Biyombo and Mason Plumlee this season. Those are the 2 guys playing the most games at center for them. They give up the 5th most rebounds to opposing centers, does Charlotte. So not exactly a shock to see that Gobert, one of the best centers in the league, is dominating the team who plays the worst against centers in the league over the course of the last 2 or 3 seasons, outside the Celtics, by the way, who are also, but now much better against centers. So now Charlotte gets to wear that crown. And I do like the rebounds scare the hell out of me. Another scenario, maybe a same game parlay with the points and rebounds separately, maybe take an alternate line on the rebounds. But either way, I think the points and rebounds are nice because, like you said, 15.5 boards a game in them, and they've been dominating Charlotte. Maybe not the case tonight, but we do expect a lot more boards available with some misses. So I'm going to attack a guy next in Tobias Harris, who's not my favorite. He's got a lot of Andrew Wiggins-ism to him at times where you're like, where did you go? You're too tall and good and strong and fast to not be here anymore. But he has been playing incredibly well on the road. And I do think just in general, he's been picking it up a bunch. He was crucial in their win the other night when LeBron sat and, Joel and James Harden were just kind of hunkering down a bit, as you said earlier, off air to me. And, those 2 guys are not necessarily going to be ramping it up as they try to get into the playoffs here. They both need them super healthy, obviously playing a ton of minutes. So enter Tobias Harris, who has no choice but to increase his usage a bit, as well as just his overall output, especially on the road. I mean, his points tonight's at 15.5, minus 116 on FanDuel. I kind of like the rebounds and points more at 21.5. He's been boarding up like crazy. So I think that helps you no matter what. I mean, just looking at some of his stats lately, last 7 overall, he's topped at least 5 boards in 6 of those 7, averaging about 6.5 boards a game. He's averaging about 16.5 points in that time frame as well. well, and shooting 51 from the field, 43% from three. So really, really good splits. And, the last four on the road, as I mentioned, been playing very well on the road, 20 points a game in his last four on the road and 7.5 boards with those really even better splits, 52, 45% from three. And so, I think, this is an opportunity playing against his former team from a while back, where, in his last two versus them, I know Nate loves the Dr. Revenge angle, 24.5 points per game, 7 boards, 5 assists, all against the Clips in those last two games. So I think there's plenty of opportunity for here against a Clippers team that's also had some struggles rebounding. I love adding the boards to that to get the 21.5 points and rebounds for him tonight.
Yeah, I think when Harden and Embiid sat out that game on Monday, it was really a nice confidence boost for Harris, who was able to work 1-2 punch with Tyrese Maxey and get his confidence back because he was such a fourth option for a while. And he was kind of told to stand in the corner and be a set shooter, and that's just not his game at all. Well, he's gotten his swagger back, and since then, and he's been scoring 20 points per game on the road. So for him to get 15.5 against a team that doesn't have much on the wing with no Kawhi and PG all year sounds pretty safe to me. The odds just dropped on that 21.5 points rebounds at -110. Definitely like that as well. The Clippers are dead last in defensive rebounding rate, giving up the most O-ribs. So that's another way for Tobias to get his tonight.
Nice. I can tell you're using that NBA player props finder on thelines.com with the way you're able to pull out those great Tobias Harris odds. Anyway, that is all the time we have for you in this one. Make sure you are liked and subscribed to that page. You can check out all 4 videos we have for you to end this work week with you guys. And until we see you next, happy betting.